Okay, what's going on, everyone? Is it better without my ring light? I don't know. It's kind of like, I think I like that better. Yeah, the natural light. Sometimes natural is better. So I just finished the morning meditation at 2 p.m. Go figure. It's been a long weekend and a long night. But I'm starting to incorporate in my time with God, in my private time, 1 Corinthians 13:7, 4 through 8, 4 through 7. It depends on if you're reading it in Spanish or in English. Hey, what's going on, Lisa Lee Rodriguez? ¿Cómo está, chiquitita? What's going on? Mike, my brother Mike, happy anniversary, brother. And just on time, I'm talking about love. So that Bible verse talks about love. And so I hear a lot of people will be like, I wonder why she doesn't love me or he doesn't love me. We've all wondered that at some point in time, right? It could be even, and I'm not talking about just romantic love. It could be even respect to like your parents, right? And this goes well beyond love. It also touches on like why your team tripping, why your team is not doing their work. Why do people say things and then don't act according to what it is they say? So in reference to why he doesn't love you, he does in his own mind. Okay? So here's what I've learned with all my wisdom as I mature through life. And this goes back to my freshman year in college, okay? And I remember in communication class, the teacher was saying, don't think because you sent the message that the receiver got the message as you sent it. Okay? Don't think because you sent the message with your understanding that the receiver received it with the same exact understanding. So here's the whole deal. People say things, but they say it with their meaning of the word. But when you hear it with your meaning of the word. So if someone says, I love you, and you know what you would do for them if you love them, then you hear them, you receive that message of I love you with the same understanding that they would do for you what you would do for them because you love them if you do, right? So that's where the disconnect is. We all have different understandings. There's different levels to this thing. We all have different understandings. And this goes even to your team. When someone calls you and says, hey, I really want to do the business, in your mind, you know what really wanting to do the business looks like because you're really doing the business. So you're like, oh, yes, I got somebody to run with me. But in their mind, really wanting to do the business might not be on the same. Hey, what's going on, DD from NYC? But in their mind, really doing the business is not to the extent of you really wanting to do the business. So when you understand this, you've got to ask questions. What does love look like to you? What does love mean to you? What does you really want this mean? If somebody says, I want a lot of money, you might be thinking that they want to make millions, but they may only want to make 200. You've got to ask those questions and you've got to dig deeper instead of taking things at just the surface level. And you've got to really understand and develop your own understanding before you can even question someone. Like, it's so unbelievable to me, and I'm learning. Definitely some things the hard way. In the school of hard knocks is never low in enrollment, right? But I'm learning definitely that I don't want someone to just love me any old way, I should say. I don't want them to love me their way. I don't want them to love me my way. I want them to love me the way according to the Bible. And for that to happen, I have to love them that way. It is difficult. Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't keep a record of wrongs. We all know we're famous for that, right? Love doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. But that is unconditional love. But what happens is a lot of people love a person based on how they feel in that moment. And when the moment is over, the love is gone. How many people are in relationships with someone who loves them only when they're in front of them? But when they're in the club and they're grinding up on somebody else or they're taking another woman's phone number, then they no longer love that person. I'm frozen. I'm out here in the boonies and there's a storm, y'all. But was it truly love? See, if you would never cheat on a person, then you think that them telling you they love you means that they would never cheat on you. But that's not necessarily true. There are men who say that they love their wives and they beat them every single day. But in their mind, they'll tell them right after doing it, I really love you. There are women who say that they love their husbands and they cheat on him with all his best friends, right? But in her mind, she'll be like, he's a good man. I really love him. So as it relates to love, and I titled this, Why Doesn't He Love You? Because love is a hot topic. But it's really in communication regarding anything. If you have a team member that comes on your team and they say, I really want freedom, you need to know, what does freedom look like to them, and what does really wanting something look like to them? What are they willing to do? Because it may not be your understanding as it relates to what you would be willing to do. The majority of the time it is not, and that's why so many people have conflicts. I got my bachelor's degree in journalism, and we were always taught in journalism, never stop asking questions. And you have to ask questions about the answers that the people give you to the original questions, because people really don't know how to articulate themselves. A lot of people don't know what they are actually saying when they use the words to say what it is that's coming out of their mouth. So you really got to dig deep. It's a skill set. It is a skill set, but it's one that if you take the time to develop, it's one that if you take the time to learn and understand, trust me, it is so much easier to take the time initially to probe a little bit deeper when somebody tells you what they initially want or what they will do. It's worth that investment in time to probe deeper and ask them, what does that look like to you? What does that mean? Instead of trying to course correct later on down the line when you see that clearly you guys did not have a meeting of the minds, even though you both were using the same words, you had different meanings. It's like the man that told the worker, hey, I need you to dig a 3-foot hole in this ground. And the guy digs a hole that's 3 feet wide, but he meant a hole that was 3 feet deep. Who's wrong? Neither one of them are wrong, but there was no meeting of the minds. So you've got to have a meeting of the minds and say, hey, great, you're saying these words, we're both using the words, but let's see if these words both have the same meanings to us. And once you do that, you'll see that he does love you. It's just his definition of love. And if that doesn't meet your definition of love, then like Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it? Right? So you've got to have a meeting of the mind as it relates to love, as it relates to your friends, team building. Learn, grow, and understand the person with whom you are speaking, what things look like and mean to them. See if it's a fit for you, and then go forward from there. I hope you found this video helpful, valuable. I hope that you will take what I said and go out there and use it, like I said, not just in relationships, but with your team members, with anybody you come across, just to save yourself, hey Aubrey, just to save yourself some time and some trouble, some frustration, some pain. Oh my gosh, if we did this initially from the beginning, trust me, we would save ourselves so much energy in dealing with the wrong people. All right. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.